How did you program your mind this week? What did you do this week that was intentional, that pertained to your self-development? Let me know in the comments. Me, of course, I'm still on Mindvalley's Art of Manifesting with Regan Hillyer. This is week 3 with this quest, and this quest does get a little juicy, so make sure you stick around and I'm going to tell you all about it. So this week, starting off this quest, Regan talks about understanding your limits and what's stopping you. So we learn how to clear out fear and doubt. A lot of the first few sessions are all about clearing out self-sabotaging traits and self-sabotaging habits and making sure we look inward and clear those things from our body and our thoughts. A lot of the activations right off the bat are really diving deep into those areas, trying to clear out self-sabotaging habits and beliefs. Like, for example, if you are going down this quest, if you haven't checked it out on Mindvalley, make sure you check it out. I really encourage it. It's a great quest. But if you have doubts about this quest, if you doubt your ability to manifest something, you won't manifest it, right? You already have this doubt in your head that this won't happen. This is impossible. How can I manifest? If you're looking for money, how can I manifest making $1,000 every week? Or how can I manifest XYZ? How can I manifest, drawing that perfect relationship to me? Whatever your reason for going through this course is, if you don't believe it will happen, it won't happen. Simple as that. And again, the first few sessions are really just about how to clear your mind from those self-sabotaging beliefs and to really get yourself wired to believe that it can happen, it will happen. And just staying positive and making sure you don't have those negative beliefs holding you down. One of the sessions really focused on something that I did enjoy, and it's a how-to dump. Regan breaks it down as, a lot of times we get stuck on the how, especially us men and just people that are really thinkers. We get stuck on, how is this going to happen? How can I do this? I need to do this. The how can get you stuck. If you are stuck on the how and you don't really know how it can happen, you can get stuck there, and that can hold you back from manifesting whatever it is you're trying to manifest. Regan really breaks this down, and one of the exercises that we do is we are asked to write down every way possible that we can think of how it can happen. How it can happen. It could be luck. It could be working hard to do X, Y, and Z. It could be that one person that, shakes your hand and then you make a connection. How? We're asked to write out the many ways that this could happen for you. Whatever it is you're trying to manifest. Like tomorrow, if this happened, you can manifest it. We're just asked to write it down and dump it all on a piece of paper so we can clear out that doubt or that wondering how something can happen. This was really helpful. I really enjoyed dumping it out and writing it out, because now you can see the many ways that it could happen. It could happen, and now you can see what you might need to pull to you, might need to visualize this thing happening. So I really enjoyed that exercise, the how dump. Because again, if you're stuck on the how and you don't know how it's going to happen and things of that nature, you might not ever manifest what you need because you don't even have a clear path. So I really like that exercise. After that exercise, we go into the next session where we're asked to clear out our trauma. And she brings out, some people do have traumatic experiences in their lives and things like that. So I can see how this is helpful. But she even breaks it down to, even if you don't think you have trauma, just think of small times where you felt a certain type of way. She breaks it down into one instance, like Imagine that you are a kid or something and you're waiting for a parent, and while you're waiting you start to have these thoughts. What if no one comes? What if, or you're playing in a sports game, right? You starting to have a trauma like, oh man, my parents aren't here yet. What if my parents don't come? Those type of things, those thoughts stick with you sometimes. So she asks that you actually go through and clear those out, and she uses some powerful activations to help clear this out. And this can be really helpful for people that have trauma. And again, this all is just making sure that your mind and mental are really clear of anything that could be blocking you from manifesting. All right, now after that, we go into this activation that I really felt it, and I like this activation. So Regan asks you to call your higher self and imagine your higher self and actually accept your higher self. So think about everything that you want, right? Everything that you want from this point. So you could be manifesting, again, money. I'm using money for the easy example, but you could be wanting to manifest money, and you could you need to see yourself in this state where you already achieved the things that you want, right? So you have to go and imagine your future self. What does he or she have? Who is around he or she? How do they walk? How do they talk? You need to imagine your future self, right? And then you go through this activation where you pull up a mirror of that higher self, whatever it is you want to manifest. It could be success. It could be, being better in relationships. It could be being a better whatever you are trying to manifest. Imagine yourself as already manifesting it and having that experience. What would you look like after you manifest it, right? You ask to look at that mirror and then look at your current self, right? A lot of times I do know successful people like to say, if you want something new and you want to develop something new or achieve something new, something that you haven't done before, you need to let go of who you are now, right? And this activation really goes deep into that. I definitely felt a certain type of way after doing it, because you are looking at yourself, the self that got you where you are now, and the knowledge and everything that you have. You are telling yourself currently that I appreciate everything that you did, basically, and what got us here, but now we need to level up and do something different, right? And you're seeing your future self and you're accepting your future self, and you're giving gratitude to your current self, or in this meditation, your past self. And she asks you to choose between one of the two, and it's very powerful. Again, after you go through it, you will probably have a slight shift in thought, and it's all about the way you're thinking. And again, many people say if you want to achieve something, you have to think on a different wave, because if you think the way you've been thinking, you will continue to get the same results, right? And that's in anything. Anybody that's trying to achieve something, manifest something, if you don't change what you're currently doing and you just keep doing the same thing over and over, you could get stuck there. So again, in this activation, you are taught to appreciate that person, that got you here. Of course, appreciate them, show them gratitude, thanks. But if you want to ascend, picture that version of yourself that has achieved everything that you want, that like I said, is everything that you envision yourself, the better you. Imagine that better, perfect you. And you have to accept that, okay, if this person walks like this, I'm going to make sure, it's just a mind shift. It's just shifting your perspective on things. Like I said, if you want to be that and you say that's the highest version of yourself, you have to accept it. Again, this was honestly my favorite of the sessions this week, and I really liked this session. And another powerful activation that was in this week's session, it was really powerful too, and it was all about healing your inner child, right? And she breaks it down as to, and I kind of thought about this as she was talking about it. I was like, I get it. So she breaks it down as like, we all have this inner child that still lives within us, right? And like, you thinking about it, I'm not childish and things like that, but after going through it, I did start to think about the certain things. They say that, what we learn in those younger years, it really sticks with us, and it shapes how we think about certain things, how we go about our lives. And you're like, okay, I don't think like a 5 or 6 year old. Yeah, you might not, but after talking to people, people that are a little older, they always seem to talk about when they were younger, right? Oh man, when I was a child, we did this. Nah, my parents didn't accept that, right? My father didn't accept that. My mother didn't accept that. They talk about it a lot. And these are people that, are up in age. They never forget. A lot of people, might forget things in between, but those younger years, they never forget. They always remember, oh yeah, back in my house, we did this. Oh yeah, that wasn't going down in my house. So I kind of feel her on this, of course she's the professional, but we're asked to go to a time when we wanted something, whatever you think about. And she asked for you to think about ages between, I think it was like 3 to 6 or something, whatever pops in your head. And you go into this activation, and she was like, whatever pops in your head, stop and stick with that moment, right? Again, some people had great childhoods. Some people might have had something else, but I really felt this one too. It definitely took me back to a time when I was a child. But she said, look into a time where you wanted something as a child and you didn't get it. And it really made you feel a certain type of way, and you really needed someone, but no one helped you, right? Think about a time like that. So she takes you there, and she tells you to actually, just visualize yourself telling your younger self that it's okay. So you go through this activation, talking to your younger self and giving them what they need to make it through the situation. And again, I really felt this one. It was a good meditation activation, but you definitely got to check it out yourself to see what I'm talking about. And again, Mindvalley is 50% off with the link in my description and comments. Make sure you check it out. And that was week 3 with Regan Hillyer's Art of Manifesting. And so far, I definitely like these quests. They really make you think. And again, I said this before, in week 2 and 1, going through these sessions actually feels like therapy. But I understand, if you want to manifest things, you have to heal yourself. And if you want to attract things to you, you have to, clear out your whole body of all those negative thoughts and emotions, traumas and things like that. And I really felt like this week was all about that. We were going through the motions and, taught to release some of those negative energies and actually alchemize them into positive thoughts. So that is a lot of what this week was. And I definitely enjoy the sessions. I look forward to the sessions. You are asked to communicate with the community. I didn't do that, honestly. This week, I didn't do all of that because, again, you're talking about deep things, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't one to share some of those things that I thought about as I went through some of these activations, but it was great. It was a great session. But this is week 3. We will be going to week 4 next week. So make sure you come back and check me out. Stay tuned. Peace.